Hi, this is Jeff Curto, and welcome to episode number 205 of Camera Position, the podcast about the creative side of photography. I met someone recently, another photographer, who, we were talking about photography and about our work and our interest in photography. And he said to me, "Art is my life. Art is my life." And, we had a great conversation about the creative life and the things that we shared as an interest in photography and the kinds of photographs we were interested in making and the kinds of stories we were interested in telling. But at the end of the conversation, as we parted company, I had a thought. And the thought was, wow, who is it in the world that can make their life only about art? Now, it also bears mentioning that I had just returned from 3 wonderful weeks of workshops with students in various places in Italy. We'd had 3 terrific groups, great weeks, terrific time. And one of the values of a workshop in a general way, and one of the reasons that I really love leading them, is that it's one of the few times that many people are able to devote themselves to photography exclusively for some extended period of time. A week or 2 weeks if somebody does 2 workshops in a row, and the ability to actually just live, breathe, eat, drink, sleep photography every day, all day, talk with other photographers, not have to have the problem of people in your family who really would rather be doing anything than watching you make photographs and can't we get back in the car now and all that kind of stuff. That stuff doesn't happen in workshops because pretty much everybody's in the same boat. They're all looking for the same kinds of experiences of being able to make photographs. So, but I think about this every time. Every time one of these workshop weeks ends, I think about and talk with the workshoppers about how what happens now is they go back to the rest of their lives. They go back to the part where all of this other stuff is going to get in the way. I mean, let's face it. We all have the rest of our lives to deal with every day. We have jobs and bills and laundry and dishes and taking care of our loved ones and mowing the lawn and cleaning the house and all of that stuff that takes time. And no matter how much you might want to make your art your whole life, there really isn't any way to make it happen without letting other things and people that you value and love suffer. And nobody wants that in their lives. Everybody wants to live a full and complete life in which photography or whatever art you practice is a part of it. And even if you think you're going to be able to create a place in your world so that you can have art in it all the time, uh, you really can't because other things get in the way, social obligations and a wide variety of things that we have to do as human beings living in a modern society on the earth. So I thought about it for a while, and I thought that a subtle change in wording and emphasis could turn the idea around into something else, something that's a little bit more manageable than, you know, art is my life. And instead of saying art is my life, say your life is your art. My life is my art. Living an artful life, living in a way that all of what you do contributes to the way in which you look at the world. And I think, for a lot of us, myself included, and I bet this resonates with a lot of you too, I think that my involvement in photography has made me quite clearly a more visually observant person. I'm a visual guy. I'm always interested in what the world looks like. I notice differences between one thing and another pretty quickly. And I think that it's that years of training of being visual as a photographer that's helped me toward that. And what's really interesting then is that everything becomes about art. If instead of saying art is your life, say your life is your art, what happens is that you begin to think of everything that you do, whether it's how you arrange the bacon and eggs on the plate in the morning, or how you put the books down on the coffee table, how you conduct yourself in the world. If you live your life in an artful way, what happens is that it all becomes art. And I think it's an imperfect goal, right? We're not always going to be able to hit that target, but by golly, what a nice idea, right? An idea to try to live an artful life, to make your life your art. And in the end, then, the photographs that you make begin to fall into just a normal pattern of the way in which you live that life, the way in which you think about yourself every day. So rather than saying art is your life, art isn't your life. Your life can be your art. As a sort of corollary to this, I had recently run across a quote from the great photographer Henri Cartier Bresson, who said, "You just have to live, and life will give you pictures." You just have to live, and life will give you pictures. And really, he's saying the same thing, isn't he? He's saying that if you live a life that is creative, you live a life that is artful, you live a life where you pay attention to the details, especially the visual details, uh, life will give you pictures. So rather than trying to make art your life, work on making your life art. Thanks so much, and I look forward to talking with you on the next episode of Camera Position, the podcast about the creative side of photography.